I almost want to put it on my chest there to make it easier.
Do I put it like that?
I should actually look up how to use it. I'll just put it in the middle here. Whoever created the alligator clip didn't mind wrinkles, or maybe he just didn't have any shirts that he liked.
That's nice, actually. Sharp ginger bite, not too sweet. I'm actually really happy with how this looks. Like, the video today doesn't even really use this background, but I just kind of wanted to throw it up because I'm glad I got it to look this way. I would just like to say thank you, first of all, to everybody who had such kind words to say about my last video, even though it happened like a few months ago. It was really encouraging to see that, like, being authentic about my experiences actually gave me the most views that I've ever had. It was refreshing. It's nice to know that people are still people. So I've been making and producing music for about 8 to 7 years, but officially I started as a business in September, like last September. Shoot, it has been like a year. But yeah, in making music production my full-time career, along with taking content creation seriously, I've also noticed a lot of stuff about how I view myself as an artist, and also just like kind of my relationship with art, because it's changed a lot in the past year. So I figured I would just talk about that. If I was Finn McKenty, I would give this video some title like "Creative Jobs Suck." I love the videos. I just kind of wanted to do a video about how my relationship with art and music has changed since music itself has now become my job. And let me clarify real quick. I started my business basically in the middle of COVID. Didn't know it was going to happen. And the fact that I've had the amount of success and business that I've had so far during this season is kind of amazing. So I am very grateful to everybody who has done songs with me, for the artists who have allowed me into their musical world, who've gone on video calls with me and have shared the very deep personal stories that these songs have for them. I'm very thankful. But I just kind of quickly wanted to go over the things that people don't really talk about when they say, you know, follow your dreams, make music your career. The stuff that no one really talks about on the other side of that sort of romanticized dream. The first thing I would say is that it becomes less fun. Now, to clarify, I would still say that it is extremely fun and I love it and I would never want to do anything else. But there is the reality of, before you go into music as a job, I'm going into it as a producer, sort of like a freelancer service-based business. The thing that no one really talks about is that you have to sort of separate the business side of music from the creative side of music in your day-to-day life. It's not some abstract concept of like, you know, commerce versus art. It's like, no, like literally every day you have to separate the two. And if you let the two bleed together, you kind of become miserable. Like right now, I'm looking at my to-do list for today, and I have a couple of artists that I'm working with, and I need to sit down and work out some kind of production for a song that I'm working on with them. And I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. It's gonna be a lot of like playing music. There's an NPC that you can't see. There's a drum pad. But it's gonna be a lot of fun beat making stuff, and you know, I'll get to collaborate with the artist. But also today, I have to respond to like 20 emails. I have to actually update my business license because it's gonna expire in a month. I only recently discovered the difference between your quarterly estimated taxes that you pay to the IRS and your estimated taxes that you pay to the Department of Revenue, which is riveting. But yeah, there's a lot of not fun stuff that you have to do in order for this to be a fun job. And the main reason I think this is interesting is because so many artists I know who talk about doing art as a full-time job, they almost talk about it as if, oh, you get to leave your boring desk job and you get to do what you love as a living, which is true. But what they don't say is that you basically have to create a desk job. Like in the job that you're creating for yourself, you have the fun thing that you do, but you also have another desk job. And you have to actually work harder at that new desk job that you've made than any other desk job that you would ever have to work. Like you will never have to do more work than when you are working for yourself. And to clarify, I totally love books like The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. But I mean, just sort of like in the setup level, like when you're trying to figure out how to get a business license, when you're trying to figure out how you pay taxes, when you're trying to figure out like, okay, how do I do this business responsibly? All of that is like way more work than if you just worked for somebody else. Another thing that I've noticed is music has kind of become, I don't want to say it's become a job or a chore, because it hasn't yet. It's still very fun whenever I do it. But like when I was in college and I had like a headache from studying so hard, I would take a break and I would make beats. That was like my off time, like this is the fun thing I get to do. This is my video game. That's the kind of passion that I had for it. That's the kind of life that it brought to me. And now when I get to the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is make another beat. Not because I don't like making beats. I love making beats. But when the end of the day rolls around, I have been working with music on a good day for like 5-6 hours, and then a bunch of admin work on top of that. And you're just so brain dead and you're not inspired. And so the last thing you want to do is sit down with your laptop and make another beat. This thing that used to be a release and thing that you would do to sort of cool down from the work that you've done in the day, your brain doesn't see that as cool down anymore. Your brain sees that as work. So even like sitting down with a guitar to just plunk out a few chords and maybe start writing a song for the fun of it, it's actually harder now than it used to be, just because now my brain sees that as work, because most of the time I'm doing it for work. This is also why it's been kind of fun to like find new hobbies. I'm trying to take like my portrait photography hobbies a little more seriously to sort of complete my Pacific Northwest cartoon character appearance. I started roasting my own coffee, which has been really fun actually. You roast them over the stove and it's fun and you get really good coffee at the end of it. But yeah, those things now have become what music used to be for me. Music used to be my end all be all, what I would do for fun. But now it has basically become my job. And so now for fun, I need to do something other than music, something that's not even related to music. And so it's been interesting. It's almost like the difference between being in a relationship and being married. There's a difference between, oh, we're going off, we're having fun, ah la 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 la. You're both working crappy jobs and we're just like, I can't wait to see you on the weekend where we can have fun. And then you get married and you live in the same house and you see each other every day and you still like each other, hopefully, but there's a different kind of relationship because you're with each other all the time. I just realized in my analogy, I'm saying that you need to cheat and get another girlfriend. Don't do that. At the same time, Stephen Pressfield talked about it. There's the weekend warrior. They're seen as like the true lovers of the art because they're not in it for the money, man. And then the people who do it for money are like, you know, sellouts. But at the same time, the people who do it full time, they do it full time because they love it so much. And the people who are weekend warriors, if they loved it more, then they would do it full time. Now it's just sort of like delegated off to the sides for them. And it's always going to be that way for them because they can't do it full time. Yes, there's a bunch of like admin work, but at the same time, I kind of wouldn't want to do anything else. Like I've created a desk job for myself, but I love this desk job and this desk job makes me happy. I've also noticed that collaboration has become a lot more important. Like if I have an actual like music project that's mine and I actually want to be like really passionate about it, I'm gonna have to ask for someone else to come in and help me with it. I do this as a job so often by myself. I need the experience of working with somebody else just to like make it actually exciting and fun. I'm working on one of my own original songs right now, which I'm really excited about, but it took like way longer than it needed to because I was just kind of apathetic because I was doing it by myself all the time. And so next one, I know that I'm probably gonna have to get somebody else involved in it. For me, the second I get somebody else involved in a project that's mine, my inspiration for it just goes through the roof. Like I need that. And it does become kind of weird now that this is your job. You're not as artistically and inspirationally self-reliant as you used to be. But honestly, for me, I'm kind of okay with that. Oh shoot, that's a great segue. That was accidental actually. So I recently started this collaboration project called DYD. It's gonna be like a series of YouTube videos where you send me your demo and like a little prompt about the song and what your inspiration was with it. And I'll do another YouTube video where I produce like a small section of it for fun and show you what I would do, how I would go about an arrangement, where I would take the production style. So if you want to be a part of that, there's a link in the description, velvetear.com/developyourdemo. And yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. Peace.